This is our brand new 2025 Forest River Viking 26 BH. And there was a lot of things on here that I've gone back and modified, and a lot of things that weren't up to par from the factory. So we'll shoot this camera around and I'll show you some of the things. So if you look here, you can see I added a little Camco level, which should make it a lot easier on here. You got your storage underneath, and when you first get your camper, if you look up under there, there'll be a box right here that covers this connection, and I'm gonna make a smaller, much smaller box for this. And if you look over here, that's where your water pump is for your fresh water tank. It also had a huge box around it, and the insulation had big old holes in it that rats could come up through. So I refoamed that. And also, if you look up here, you'll see that that's the pink Panther foam board, 1/2-inch foam board. The whole entire area was not insulated. So all the outside air was coming up right up under your bed. You had no insulation under your bed, and the plywood is 3/8 of an inch thick. So let's move on down the camper while we're on the outside. And you look at your fenders right here, they got big old huge gaps that you'll want to go in and put some caulking in to keep water from going up through there. When I was working on the inside, I could see light shining through from the inside out here, and I came out here and found that you had a big old gap right there. So you want to fill that in. Then your compartment here in the back, there was a big old box covering up your hot water heater. Your hot water heater is here, and your beds, for your bunk beds, you can see I added insulation there also, because they were not insulated. They were 3-inch plywood, and it's 2 pieces of plywood with a crack down the middle. So you had an open air crack all the way down through there. All that was uninsulated. That's to your exterior, so it went in and caulked all the way around so that you close the air gaps. Looking here at your hot water heater, they got a receptacle back here that your hot water heater is plugged into, and it uses a switch up there at your kitchen that sets a relay, which I assume the relay is in this junction box right here. And then you've got your valves right here that you change when you get ready to do your blowing out your lines or winterizing, however you do it. But I don't know how your dealership did, but we were not shown this. So if we move from here over to the hot water heater on the outside, you can see there's a reset up here, but there's not an on and off, so there's no way to switch it off. So the only way to switch it off is inside, either with a breaker box or using the switch, which I'll show you a little later. And we move around. We added a backup camera up here, one of the Furion. It's not the Furion brand, it's the off brand. But the connections on it didn't work. We just had to cut it off, and I wired it straight. Then here you just had 1/2-inch caps on your low water drains. So I added valves on those so I wouldn't have to have anything to open and close the valves when I wanted to drain the water out. And then I've got this. I'm on, see, that's an ammo can. And then I've got my clear discharge connector right there that I'm gonna store in here. And then I'm gonna screw this metal box on my frame right there, so then it'll be right there where I want it. Of course, my Stinky Slinky is in my bumper right here. And then this right here, you got a single port to drain your gray water and your sewer water. So I ordered a cap, which will have a water hose fitting right here, because the campground we stay in, it has a gray water outlet that you can drain your gray water into, so we don't have to worry about draining our tanks, because that's mainly most of your water will be gray water. So we can just run a water hose over to the gray water discharge, and we don't have to worry about emptying our tanks. So that's something you'll want to add. Another thing I did, when you buy a brand new camper, it's got stickers all over it. So these stickers here you see for your labeling your tanks, they were up here on the side, so I removed them and moved them down here. Same way with all the rest of the cables, like showing you where your satellite cable inlet connection is. This tag right here, it was on the side of the camper. I moved inside the cap. And this fender was the same way. This really isn't a fender, it's just a piece of sheet metal that they formed to make a fender instead of buying a factory fender, I'm sorry. And you can see it still had the gaps. This one's still setting up over here where I filled it in. So, here's this side. There's the water pump that I was telling you about. So I'm gonna close that back in where I don't have to worry about it getting hit with stuff when we're putting it in and out. But for the time being, when I was foaming it, I had taken that off. I don't notice if you can notice or not in this video, but you see that stain right there? Well, let me show you what's causing this stain. You see right there? I got 2 pieces of gutter for a 29-foot trailer. Instead of using one solid piece, they use 2 pieces. And you know, that's kind of shoddy in my opinion. But what really gets me is that instead of having the gutter right there, why didn't they put the gutter down here on this end? This end doesn't have a window. So it's pouring right down on this window. Yeah, go figure. So my local dealership, they wanted $800 to add this anti-sway weight distribution bar. Most people that's got a few tools and common sense can add this. It was $800 at the dealership. It was $380 off of Amazon. So stepping into my brand new camper that I've tore apart. It is a work in progress, but I'll show you what's been going on. So here you can see it's no longer queen size. That's the original queen size. It's right overhead right here. That gives you an idea about how wide it was. So that's how wide your platform was. Well, now I have increased it where right here it was an opening. And you can look at this little board right here on the side. That shows you how wide it was. So I added all this from the hinge right here, all the way out, all the way across. So now you have this whole area here. That's 93 inches by, I think it's 4 feet. I can't remember now. But your total length now is long enough to where you can put a full-size mattress on, 80 inches. So this area is 93 wide by 80 inches long. So this is an 80-inch mattress, a twin, extra long. So you could put a king-size mattress or 2 twins. The other twin will come to about right here. It gives you a little bit of gap, so that my wife and I can get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom and not wake each other up. Hopefully. So another thing, this little CO monitor right here. If you looked on the inside here, it was 1-inch screws sticking out right there, exposed. So I added a back plate so that my grandson, when he's playing hide and seek up in here, which is the first thing he wanted to do, he didn't rip himself open. Or you're hanging whatever else you're putting under there, blankets or whatever. So here's a cabinet that I built. We got the USB chargers there. And then we can store CPAP machines or telephones or whatever else we want. Personal items, wallet, and your keys and that kind of stuff. The cabinet's that color because it matches the comforters that my wife wanted. I haven't done anything over here, but this little Keurig 1-cup coffee maker, it works absolutely perfect right here. There's your plug-in. Plugs in right there. It fits. So all I have to do is just make me a little bracket to go right around here, and that will hold it in place. I won't have to worry about it going down the road. So if we look under here, both of these had panels. You can see these bars right here. They had this closed off with panels. So you lost all this space. Another thing is the plumbing right here. It was way over here, like this, at an angle. So I went back in, had to cut that, run my T back over. So now it's right behind this stile, so it's out of the way, and this gives this whole area, open area for storage. And you can see your fender right here. None of this was insulated, so we've gone in and insulated this as well. Look right here. Look what a short little cabinet that is. Wow, what happened to all that cabinet? Well, if you lift up your induction cooktop, you can see that all that space in there. And that is a lot of space. It doesn't look like it from this video, but it's a lot of space. So we're going to extend these. I'm going to take these panels out. And then we'll have a full-size cabinet just like these. And then up here, all this empty space, wasted space. This is where our silverware drawer is going to go. I'm going to saw that out and make a silverware drawer. This cabinet right here is my grandson's favorite hiding place. And if you look back here, see that crack back there? Yeah, well, one of my open-end wrenches is back there, thanks to him. So while we're here at the drawer, I'll show you where the breaker box is. Had a little confusion because I couldn't figure out what was going on. But the hot water heater was listed as the microwave. And the microwave was listed as the washer. I don't know whether all the Forest River Viking campers will be that way, or they just happen to mess up on this one. But when they did their inspection there at the dealership, they didn't catch that. Also, we got a receptacle right here at the table. I'm going to tap into this one. I've already got another one, and I'm going to put it down here. That way, when we're sitting at the table, we can plug in our chargers for our phones or anything else we want to, and then we won't have cables up on top of the TV. So if we look over on this side at our dinette, see these two supports. Let me set this out of the way. See these two supports right here? Those weren't there. The only thing that this was holding up right here was through this little 1/8" panel. So if somebody flopped their big butt down on there, it would probably break through. And if you look right here, this is the box I've got built over the fender. If you look down in there, you can see I insulated it the same way. And right here in the center, it was the same way. And it didn't have any support right here. This is just 1/8" paneling. So people gonna have their feet on that. So I went back and added a support here, and then another one over here to help support anybody that would put their foot on there. And we did this the same way. So here's another improvement I made. I added a bracket on this bunk, the top bunk. When I tried to climb up on there, it was very unstable. I was afraid that it was gonna break. So I added an aluminum bracket, which made a huge improvement. In the bathroom here at the shower, I got this little bracket that goes right here. It didn't even make it home from the dealership where it already pulled the screws out of the paneling. I guess the shower head fell off and slipped down and hit this and knocked this loose. So then the screws were loose for water to go through. So I'm going to caulk those up. Here's something that people that buy a 2025 Forest River Viking 26 BH might want to do as a modification. This is where your TV goes, and you'll notice it says TV backer. So if you knock that out, you now have a new cabinet that you can use. So this was the backing plate right here for the TV. It had the receptacles here for your cable and your 120. They were mounted over here, right here. So this whole cabinet was wasted space. Now I built a door that I'm gonna put up here. Also, I've got this nice TV mount off of Amazon, and it comes with 2 brackets. So TV will swing around this way so we can see it from here. If the kids are wanting to watch the TV, they can turn it around at night. Or if the kids are sleeping and the wife and I want to watch TV, we can just slip it off and bring it over here. Add another bracket right here. You can go through the wall right here for added support. And then you just put you a bolt through here with a good washer. It helps support that. It's going through the wall, so there should be plenty of support. And your 24-inch TV works just perfect for this area. So nothing I added. If you look right here, it's a USB port. Let me open that up for you. Ordered those off of Amazon. Nice little USB port. Got the USB-C also with the on-off. So the way you'll have to do that, you'll have to drill a hole right through here that's in between this floor of the cabinet and underneath of the cabinet. You got about that much space. You have to get you a long wire, a solid piece of wire that you can run, a real stiff piece of wire, like a number 9, I think it is. And take this light down so you can use that to help fish your way through. But then you'll have to come over here, take your panel off so you can see your wires. And then on this side, you'll have to peel your sticker back and you can drill your hole. Of course, you can drill a lot bigger hole than that. It would have made it a lot easier if I had. And then you can fish the wires up through there, up into here. But another crazy thing they had, this switch right here came from the dealership. I had no idea what it was. And they said they were going to find out. I had to call the next day and ask again. Well, they sent a message back. This is a hot water heater. So that's your hot water heater switch. So the only way to cut the hot water heater off, on and off, will be right here where all the kids could play with it. Cutting your hot water heater on. If you didn't have water on, it'd burn your hot water heater up, or turn it off there at the breaker box. So I took this panel off and switched the wires, because up here, this switch, that was your lights. So you had your hot water down here, and you had your lights up here, which made no sense. So these lights right here, this is your 3 lights. You got that one, and this one. They're all on the same switch. Is that not crazy? So that was a big improvement. So here's the door I made. And it turns out it's a pretty good match. I don't know if you can tell the difference. I'm not a cabinet maker, but it's pretty close. I haven't got the hardware on it yet. And Sherwin-Williams did a pretty good job of matching it up. You can't buy it in a pint or a quart. You can only buy it by the gallon. $50 for enough stain to stain this door. But I guess if you bought a door, it would cost you $50. As far as the hinges and stuff, you probably can't find those locally. Like this little hinge right here. You might be able to, but I didn't see it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the hinge and door handle off of this one out here in the vanity and just change it out. The ones I bought, I'll put on this door. Nobody will ever notice it. And then take these and put them up on this door. So that's about all I've done so far. Anybody else got any great ideas? Please share them with me. So this is our 2025 Forest River Viking. That's gonna be our home away from home. It's March, so it won't be long. We'll be headed to the lake. Hope I helped you, some of you guys, give you some ideas. Thanks.